From swampland to a booming metropolis, Doral has come a long way, and it all began with the dream and vision of one man. His name was Alfred Kaskel.
Alfred was born in 1901 in Poland, Russia, and then he escaped war times out in Eastern Europe, and in 1921 he took a ship, he was aboard a ship, and he landed in New York, and from there just created a living for himself, buying, selling, fixing up apartments, and his foundation was in New York, and then expanding out of New York, he came down to South Florida, and he actually, when he came to South Florida, he started out on Miami Beach. That's where his first 2 hotels were purchased. At the time, there was actually, Jews were not allowed to play on the golf courses that were out in the beach. So he said, you know, I need to have an amenity for a lot of my guests that are coming, that are staying on the beach. Let's look out west and see what we can do to develop a golf course and a second resort.
In the late 1950s, Alfred and Doris Kaskel purchased 2,400 acres of swampland in what is now present-day Doral, with the intention of building a world-class golf course and hotel. It was in 1962 the Kaskels' dream came true when they opened the country club that featured the blue, red, and par golf courses. They named it
Doral. My wife's name is Doris and my name is Al. But I was going to make it Doral. I was going to make it El Doral, but my wife is the boss.
As Doral's first structure, the Doral Hotel and Country Club became the area's hotspot. And in the second year of operation, the Kaskels hosted the first Doral Open, and Florida's major PGA event was born. All eyes on Doral as we host one of the world's largest golf competitions, the Cadillac Championship. The biggest names in fashion, music, and golf coming to the Cadillac Championship.
Let's go back to 1985, because that was really what started the movement towards a city.
But over 70% of the entire population of Miami-Dade County living in what you call UMSA. So now, all the people that were in those municipalities where you had elected officials fixing your potholes, providing sidewalks and parks and libraries and schools. We had none of that out here.
Part of the reason was, and for every dollar that we paid in taxes, we got back 47 cents in services. We were a donor community.
The West State Federation of Homeowners Association was formed in 1989 under the leadership of Morgan Levy to stand strong against any proposals that threatened the community's welfare.
What we started doing when issues that they were going to make decisions affecting our area, we would hire buses, we would get people on the buses, and we would take them downtown. Well, the bottom line is we developed a credibility, and then we started getting attention. We were able to work with those commissioners. They were learned all we were looking to do was to benefit our community.
I called our West State Federation attorney, John Fletcher, and I asked John Fletcher when West Dade should begin starting to incorporate, to think about becoming a city. He only answered one word: yesterday, Morgan. And we started on our pilgrimage to become a city.
As a result of their efforts, Miami-Dade County built their police headquarters instead of a jail, higher development standards were implemented, and more lighting, roads, and landscaping appeared in the area.
Along the way, as the West State Federation was moving towards incorporation, another organization in the western part of our area sprang up, and that was called One Doral.
Truthfully, the big change came when the commissioner, who we felt as One Doral was not being very supportive of incorporation of the city of Doral, was removed from office. Governor Bush at the time appointed Jose Pepe Cancio, who was a Doral resident, who was also part of the original Doral Municipal Advisory Committee. And Commissioner Cancio, one of the first things he committed to doing was supporting the incorporation of the city of Doral, since he had been on the advisory committee. And he created a new advisory committee and was very supportive.
So that's where we worked to decide, okay, do the budget numbers work out in our favor for us to incorporate? Are we going to get into a lot of trouble with this if we go in over our heads? And so in the end, it worked out.
Eventually, right before the vote, Commissioner Cancio, who had promised he would only be an interim commissioner, Commissioner Diaz, Jose Pepe Diaz, who had been the Sweetwater mayor, then with our help, because we supported him, became the county commissioner, and Commissioner Diaz helped get the ball over the goal line on the official day that we had the vote for permitting the residents of Doral to go to a vote for incorporation. And then obviously they added the poison pill, which was the mitigation, where they would take a good chunk of our revenue for simply existing. Eventually, that's a story in itself, and it's one of the proudest accomplishments, I think, that we had in the first 9.5 years was getting rid of mitigation.
Together, after a few minor incidents, the two organizations have now come together and proceeded to elect the first mayor, and that was J.C. Bermudez. That was a great opportunity for the city to grow in the right direction, because Mayor Bermudez had the foresight and the ability to direct the city in the way that it would become in very short order, one of the outstanding cities in the United States.
The city of Doral has come a very long way in a very short time and is attracting positive attention from Fortune 500 corporations, mom and pop businesses, young families, and retirees.
Unfortunately, before we were just an area. And I think the thing I'm most proud of, there's three things I'm very proud of, but creating the sense of community was really the most important. And, you know, I would add to that, I'd say it was also very important to create what I think is an efficient, effective, transparent government. And the third one is a government that's much closer to the people. People no longer have to go downtown to complain or to give their point of view.
Today, Doral is going through a development transformation. Our own police department, beautiful parks, our own trolley system, top-notch residences and businesses in areas such as downtown Doral, City Place, and Midtown Doral. More and more people are choosing Doral for their place to live, work, learn, and play. What began as a swampland has transformed into one of the most beautiful cities in the nation. The most important truth that still holds true today after so many years is the sense of community pride.
Many people are reluctant to answer the call for service, to get involved in a problem. They defer and they say somebody ought to do something about that. And they fail to understand or to accept that they are part of that somebody. And until our population, not only locally, but nationwide and worldwide, understands that they are a part of the problem and they have to help solve the problem, we'll never make progress. I think most of the people that I see in Doral, especially in the leadership today, understand that and are anxious to maintain the high caliber city that we have become.